Hello, everyone, and welcome to Social Locals Podcast. I'm the host, Carly, and I am a Vancouver Island local myself. Each week on Mondays, I'll be releasing a new episode with a new guest and also new advertisements from local businesses. Thank you for being here and listening and supporting local. Let's get into the episode. A quick warning, this episode contains discussions of suicidal actions. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, everybody. Social Local Podcast. I'm here. My name is Riley Ingham. Artistically, I go by Rylis. I'm a musician in Duncan, BC. I'm here to talk about my music and stories. We're catching up with Carly. We knew each other from a while ago.
Yeah, in high school.
High school, middle school, maybe too?
I don't know. Did you go to Quam?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, we were looking at yearbooks. Me and the boys. Yeah, we were looking at yearbooks couple weeks ago, I'd say.
Yeah.
They were laughing at me and how I looked back in the day. No. But we saw you in there because I was like, yeah, because, we're getting...
I was always a year younger than you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to school together all through. Did you go to Alex Aiken?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Did you go to...
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're going way back, eh?
And your sister was a year younger than me.
Absolutely,
right?
Yeah, 99 it would be?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
your
Sophia.
Sister was always a year younger than me.
Wow, That's crazy. There's four of us in my family,
yeah.
We're all 2 years apart, so it's Emily. She is just turned 20. It's her birthday today, actually.
Oh, really?
At the time of recording this.
Happy birthday, Emily.
Absolutely. I'm thinking we should call her almost. And maybe
sure.
Later. Should we call her right now?
Sure. Let's call her.
Let's call her right now.
It's today?
It's today, yeah. We're filming this November 8th.
November 8th.
She actually just called me 8 minutes ago on FaceTime. Should I FaceTime her? Yeah,
sure.
I'm going to FaceTime her. She's going to get awkward. It's going to be hilarious. Quick FaceTime. Emily, how are you? You're live on the Social Local Podcast with Carly.
Hello.
That's her.
Happy birthday. Thank you.
Wanted to wish you a happy birthday. We were literally just talking about you. And I pulled out my phone. You called me 8 minutes ago. What's going on?
Nothing. I was just going to tell you that on my work Facebook, they posted the thing.
Beautiful. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, we just wanted to wish you a quick happy birthday. We're just, we're catching up here and yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah. Have a great birthday.
Take care. Hey, love you. And I will see you later. And thanks for doing that for us. We'll talk about that. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
That's hilarious.
That's awesome. And then you have one older brother, right?
One older brother. His name's Brandon. Yep. He is 2 years older than me. So he's just turned 26 in October there.
Cool.
Very cool. But that's amazing. Yeah. So
we went to school all the way through together.
All the way through.
Yeah. Well, I didn't go to Alex Aiken until grade 4. I moved from Alberta and then I started, I started in grade 4 there. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I was there throughout everything, but wow, I honestly didn't know we went that far back.
Alex Aiken was
Straight
awesome.
Alex Aiken.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, Alex Aiken was great. A lot of good memories. I mean,
elementary school and the farm, there was like cougars that would come by. They'd be like, you can't go for recess.
Oh, yeah,
recess
yeah,
today.
I remember.
So different than living in the city in Alberta.
Oh, I bet. I remember, yeah. We'd always me and the fellas back in the day would like jump the fence and we think we're so cool and stuff, We're like, yeah. We wait for all the girls to come by and we'd be like, and the duties would be there and they'd give it to us and I'd be like, oh God, this was not worth it at all. I'm like, they're not even looking at me. I'm not even cool.
I know. There was this little road that you could get to my neighborhood to if you jump the fence and then cross that one farmer's field.
Oh my goodness!
That old guy that lived there would like freak out every time.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes
I think I'm remembering. No, that's amazing. Yeah.
So how did you get into school or to music after school?
Well, music's something I've always wanted to do. Like ever since I was like 13, I'd always be singing. It became my vice for anything. I just be singing. I don't know how to explain that. It was just something that was in me
Yeah.
and something I love to do. So I don't know if you heard me in the halls back in the day, but I'd be singing here and there. But I guess back in the day, I wouldn't really sing.
You were so shy in
I was
school.
super shy. Hey,
I'm
yeah.
shocked that you're like doing something so public.
Oh, I
with your
know.
life.
I know. I was going to ask you about that. Yeah.
You were so shy.
What you thought of me back in the day, like what I was, because I know that I was super, super introverted. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's something I've always wanted to do. It's literally just been in my head, like I've always had these thoughts and like these dreams to do these big things and sing for as long as I can remember. So it's literally, I know a lot of people didn't know that about me because I kept it so inside, because honestly, I was like super like whenever I would sing, I remember in particular one memory, it was Quamachin, Mr. Vop. I don't know if you remember him. Of course, yeah. So I was in guitar class there. I was learning how to play guitar.
Yeah.
Didn't know what I was doing. But I remember, specifically we were just playing guitar for some song, and I started singing. And I was super shy to sing. I did not want to sing in front of anybody, not even my family, nobody. That's all. But I started singing, because we were just doing music. I was like, okay, I'm going to start singing to this song. And I remember he turned around and he was like, who did that? He's like, who's singing right now? And I was like, nope. I'm looking around. I'm like, who is that? Because, I just didn't want that attention. Yeah. I wasn't about that at all. No. But I remember him specifically saying after that, he was speaking to the class then. He was like, if you got something, like, don't ever like hide that. Yeah. That's super impactful to me. I get a little sad or emotional because, I remembered that. That was something that I remembered. Yeah. And coming up to now, it really meant something to me. So, yeah. So, how I got into that, I've always been singing. Yeah. I actually finally started, when I turned 20, actually, is when I first started like actually playing guitar, because I totally forgot what we were doing back in Mr. Vop's class. It was just, but I picked up my guitar. I bought it secondhand. It was just like a Yamaha, nothing too crazy. Picked it up and I started going YouTube. Shout out to Marty Music. That guy's amazing. He taught me what I know now.
Learned it on YouTube.
Just taught myself on YouTube. Yeah. And and it was like 4 years ago now. Haven't played guitar for that long. Got pretty good, but I'm not the best, but I had to start somewhere, I was like, I need to start somewhere. So I taught myself how to play guitar there through YouTube. And then, I linked up with my good buddy, Liam Klinging, also known as Nick Nasutra. We started making music. We just would buy beats online, and we'd just sit in his mom's basement there. He started to collect a lot of things and made a really good setup. We had a really, really good setup there. Yeah. And we were just learning, we didn't know what we were doing. We were just going out there because we knew we wanted to do this. We just start making songs down there, and we started that probably in like 2017. We started doing that. Yeah. So I would say that's when I started taking it serious, like very serious. So how old was I in 2017? It was probably when I was like
19.
20 around. Well, so 21, I'd say, like 3 years ago. Yeah. We made a lot of great songs, but we didn't release any. They'll probably get released one day because we have some great songs. But I got to shout out my friend Liam, because I wouldn't be right here without him. He's very, very important.
Amazing. And does he release his own music?
Not right now. Yeah. Like I said, we got a lot that we did. He's doing his own thing right now. But we really started something there, and those are memories that I'll never forget. So started that there, and now we're here. I met, I guess I'll go into I can go into what we're doing at Yezi recently, because we did all that,
So that's your current music.
So label? It's our label that Tristan Renaud, who produces my music, good friend of mine, and Chris, who's here right there. Christopher Lamson, also known as Young Negrensé. Love my boy. Yeah, they started the label Yazinet, which is it's it's kind of like an entity where we do art, specifically music. It's based around that, and there's tons of other things that we have planned to do with that, but it starts with art. The motto is do great things with great art. That's the
Cool.
motto there. So they
And you do
started
that out of the studio in Duncan?
absolutely, yeah, just over top of the capsule. If you've ever been there, the
I
new
heard about that.
yeah, yeah.
Isn't it Nick?
Nick
What's his
Nick Moravnik?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
His
AK.
candy shop?
Yeah,
Is that
his
what it
candy
is?
shop. Yeah, he's also known as the
Yeah.
wise guy, and shout out to him.
My cousin was good friends with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. No, he's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's cool.
he's doing cool things, great things. He's
Yeah.
awesome. He actually me and Liam did our first show with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got us up on the stage there, and that was super awesome.
Cool.
We did our first official show. Yeah, it was like for like 100 people or so. They showed up and we raged. It was
Yeah.
cool.
Cool.
But yeah, so we do music just in the same building there. Yeah, blanking real quick.
Very cool. Okay. Well, so you're saying you started with Yeezy.
Yazzie, yeah.
Yeezy. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so yeah, I met I knew Tristan, throughout the music scene, but I never actually like met him or hung out with him at all. Until about a year and 2 months ago. And this is around the time we'll get into it, but this was shortly after Steven's passing. And during that time, I was going through like a breakup as well. And I remember just being super, super down, I was just like, whew. And at this time, me and Liam has stopped making music. We weren't making music, because of life and things just happen, busy. People get busy. So I just remember I was like playing video games. And I was just sitting there like, oh man, like I really want to make music because it's literally what I do when I'm sad. It's like something I go to. And I was like thinking about messaging Tristan, right? Never met him before, really. I was thinking about messaging him. I'm like, oh, I should message him. Because I know that him and Chris made a beautiful song called Honeydew. You can find that on all platforms right now. An absolute crazy track. And that kind of started a wave, everyone's like, whoa, like these guys are making insane music. Great song. And I remembered that and I was like, oh, I want to see if we can make one, right? Anyways, I didn't end up messaging him, but the next day, it was late at night. I remember feeling the same type of way. I get a DM from Tristan. I get a DM. It says, I have it, but I'll go based off of memory. It says, hey, it's like, hey, you want to make a hit? I was like, absolutely. I was like, wow, dude, like, come on. I was like, come on, this is a sign.
Reading your mind.
I was like, this is crazy. And I'm like, absolutely. He's like, awesome. When are you I kind of thing? I was like, anytime. I'm like, when are you thinking? He's like, tomorrow. I was like, absolutely, let's do it. So I guess that night he started to make a beat based off of my sound because he's heard some songs of mine, and he made a beat and he had some lyrics. The next day we go in, I meet him for the first time officially, and we make Under the Moon that night. Pretty much the full track because he came with lyrics. I collabed on it. The melodies came and.
And is that song released?
Under the Moon, yeah, it's available everywhere. Spotify, Apple Music, Rylis, Under the Moon. Rylis and Tristan Renaud, Under the Moon.
Okay.
You can find it's like a big moon. That's the album cover.
Cool.
Well, yeah, we made that, and that was really special, because after making that, I started to see a lot of big things that could happen. When you make something that special, we became like brothers right away. With music and that kind of connection. It's different, it's super special. Like I hadn't known this guy ever. We make this song, I feel like I've known him forever.
Yeah.
Super special. So it started off there, and we've been going at it for about a year and a bit now. I have a lot of songs that I've made with him that are unreleased, but will be released. It's been really special to just connect with these guys and do what I love, something that I've loved forever, that I've known that I wanted to do, but never got a chance to, But it's always been in my mind, and to just see that happen the way that I always imagined it to, is cool. Very cool. So
okay. So now your latest song, which will be released when?
Yes, it's called In My Head with young Negrensé. It's going to be released November 16th. And I think by the time this is out, the song is probably out. So you can find that everywhere. Spotify, Apple Music. It'll be in the description of the YouTube video.
Yep.
For the audio listeners, you can go to yuzzy.net and find it for sure. But it'll be everywhere. But I guess I'll just backtrack a minute and talk about why and where this song came from.
Tell us the story.
So I wrote this song about a really good friend of mine, Stephen Hancar, that passed away a little over a year ago. I just want to talk about him a little bit and, how special he was.
His story.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I don't know if you remember him in middle school or high school. Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about what you remember about him?
I remember him being just part of like your friend group.
Yeah.
So I don't really remember who else was in that friend group, but I remember you because one of my friends was friends with you.
Yeah.
And so I remember Stephen was part of your friend group, and there was like a group, maybe 5 guys. I don't really remember, but I feel like there was a larger group of you guys, and you'd always just stick together anywhere you went, middle school and high school. And but I don't really remember too much of him. I remember just him being there whenever I would see you.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
So, like in my head, it's when I think of Steven, I think of you.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
so I just remember that you guys were really good friends. But I never really had many interactions with him.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, no. We good? Oh, okay, sorry. I thought something was going on. So Steven, special.
How long have you guys been friends?
I met Steven, I want to say when grade 7, I want to say, or it must have been grade 8, honestly, somewhere around there. His grandma lived up by me.
Okay.
I lived up in the properties, for people that know Duncan in Maple Bay. Lived up there. Yeah, so his grandma lived like a little ways up the hill. You could take a little trail, and it could bring you to his grandma's place, and he'd always go there. I think they'd have pizza nights on Fridays and stuff, and I believe I was invited a lot, but I made it to like maybe 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he was always around there. So I lived like both my parents, they were split up. My dad lived up there on the same road that his grandma lived. My mom lived just down the hill. I think that's when we really started the friendship. Yeah. We'd always hang out all the time. Like I said, we were really good friends in school. He was just someone super special. He's really special to me. For the people that knew him or saw him in school, they probably remember him by his mullet.
Yeah.
He had his mullet there. I'm not sure where that came or what, but knowing Steven, that's just something that he would do, because he wasn't really afraid to be himself. That's something that I looked up to a lot and I respected. He was a super loyal friend, and I'm going to get emotional. Yeah, it's going to happen.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'm just I just want to make sure that I, say what I need to say about him and why I did this song for him and why it's so special.
Yeah.
Steven was a very loyal friend. He was a best friend, and he was like a brother to me. So, he was. I honestly adore the guy. For many reasons. He could light up a room. He could. He had the contagious laugh. His laugh was hilarious and make you laugh for sure. We shared a lot of great memories, a lot of great laughs. He was just great, For Steven, he went through a lot himself,
Did you know about it when he was going through
I knew what happened, but it didn't really wrap my head. I didn't wrap my head around how much hurt that caused him until he was gone, When Steven was younger, his father, he suicided. And he was really close to that situation and everything. And without getting too far into that, that's what happened to him. So if you think about that, that is something that it affected him.
Mhm.
And that's something I never really wrapped my head around, like being his friend and everything, I just, because I didn't experience it, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't know how that could affect him. So, he had that, and all this hurt that brings, because now I know.
Mm-hmm.
So he had that, but he continued to be the light for everybody. He
Hid
never
that pain.
you would never know, that he was hurting,
Mm-hmm.
because he was just such a great guy, I'm trying to just, he was, I'm trying to think of a moment where Steven made me feel anything less than special, and there really isn't a moment.
Yeah.
And I mean that. Because, you look back, and I look back at everything, I'm like, man, that was a good guy. And
Yeah.
I'm very, very blessed to have had some time with him, because, as you get older, you see everything and the change that you want to make, and the things that I want to do with my music and with my close friends and everything. And I realized that as individuals, we may not be able to fix the world, but I know that one person has the ability to change someone else's entire world, because that's what Steven did for me.
Yeah.
He did that by not even trying.
Yeah.
He
Can you
did
tell
that.
me a few really good memories that you have with him that stick out for you?
Absolutely, thank you. One memory, I was with, it was me, him, and another good friend, Isaac McCormick, and we were at Isaac's parents' house, and we were downstairs, and Isaac could play the guitar. I couldn't play the guitar. We must have been 15 or 16. We were just hanging out. Might have been having a little wobbly pop or whatever. I don't know. But it was a good time. Yeah. So he this is the best memory. I can't get too far into it because it wasn't very appropriate.
Okay.
But anyways, Isaac had the guitar and he was strumming Knocking on Heaven's Door, I believe. That was the chords.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything about guitar, and I hadn't made a song ever or anything like that. I just, I like to sing, but he started doing that, and I started singing a song. I just freestyled a song, and it was about Steven. I can't tell you what it's about because it's super inappropriate. Yeah. Anyway, it's a memory, and so I was singing, and I just remember him. He had the only recording of that song. And I just remember him laughing, like we were just laughing because everything that I'd come up with on the spot, they'd be like, "What?" And that night we ended up just making like a 4 or 5 song little EP of just ridiculous stuff. Like we just and it was such a good memory.
That's nice.
It's the memory that popped into my head when I found out.
Yeah.
And it was making me like laugh, I'm like, oh, this guy, like, holy, this memory is just amazing to me, and I'm like, I wish I had a copy of that, but he was the only one that had it,
Yeah. Special.
So, that's okay. But that was one of my favorite memories, but, he was just always just a great person, loyal friend, very loyal friend. He'd be there for you no matter what. Yeah. So
after high school,
we
continued to be friends.
We drifted apart, just to do with life. He had a girlfriend who later became his wife. They married. Then he had a son. I was doing my thing. I lived in Vancouver, like after grade 10. I went to Cal High, then I moved to Vancouver. I went and did school in Vancouver.
Okay.
So I was living there for the most part. I come back every couple of weeks, to hang out, and he'd always hit me up. He'd be like, "Hey, like, are you back on the island? Let's hang out." I'd be like, "Hell yeah," Yeah, should have made more time for him then, for sure. You know how life is, though.
Yeah, you always look back and think you could do more.
Yeah. I'll take a quick sip here. back up so you can't hear my swallowing. Yeah. So where were we? Help me real quick.
After high school, he
Yeah.
got married and had a
Yeah.
son.
Yeah. So we drifted apart, but we'd always talk on high school. All right. Sorry. we'd always talk on Facebook, right? We message back and forth because, you know, we're good, very good friends, you know, and I'd run into him in town every once in a while.
Yeah.
And he's the type of friend that, you know, doesn't matter how much time's passed, you know, like your boys.
Yeah.
Like, it's like no days pass, you know, he's that kind of friend, you know.
Yeah.
Those are very special friends. You got to keep them around. But yeah, we were, you know, he'd always message me. And I lived in town, and he was, you know, we're busy. We both working and stuff, but he would message me from time to time. You know, he's like, "Hey, man, like, you know, Merry Christmas," stuff like that. I remember specifically, yeah, it was like 2019. You know, he said, "Merry Christmas." That was, yeah, Christmas of 2019. We should grab a coffee soon. Like, love you, man.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought, absolutely. You know, we'll get a coffee. Absolutely, man. I love you too, man. Merry Christmas, like, to you and your family. I hope you have a great one. You know, like, we'll catch up. Yeah, we absolutely will. You know, in my mind, I thought I had time. You know, and I think that'll put it into perspective for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I thought I had time. You know, I took it for granted, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just remember I'd look at the messages then, you know, after I found out, and it's like, you know, it's the what ifs, you know, that'll really kill you. You know, and you'll get this from when you hear the song and stuff, because we wrote this about him. You know, this is about him. This is for him. And this is for everyone else who's struggling with similar thoughts and everything. But it's the what ifs, you know. I couldn't help but think, you know, if I had made time for him and we went for coffee and I got to see him and we actually got to talk again, because we really didn't get to talk throughout the 5 years after high school or so.
Yeah.
I ran into him, and it'd be very brief, but it'd be very, very great because he's a great guy and we were boys, you know. I loved him. I love him. I can't help but think, you know, what if I went for coffee with him, you know, would I have known? Would I have known, or would he have opened up to me? You know, would he have told me how he was feeling or how things were going?
What's the day that he passed away?
It was the 19th of June, was it, brother? July? June? I'm sorry. June 19th.
June?
2020.
So did you find out anything about, did he leave any notes, or did you find out anything specific around?
He was, I found out that he was, there was a lot going on for him, and, you know, he was showing things. But at this time I was disconnected from him, you know. We lived separate lives. But yes, you know, he did send a text to someone close to him and said, you know, without going too far into it, he said, you know, like, don't be mad at anybody or something like that. Yeah. So it was there, I guess, but they, you know, no one knew on his end, you know, with his family and everyone, no one knew me. You know, they didn't know a lot of us. They knew that we were friends, and that, you know, I had a couple songs out with Liam. He would show his wife these songs, you know, and she let me know that, you know, I was very special to him because he'd show her the songs. He'd be like, "This is my friend. This is my friend." Yeah. So there was, you know, there was some stuff, but you know, I never thought, not one thought in my mind that would ever happen to him.
Yeah.
I just want to go to the day that I found out, if I may. I just want to go through how I felt just real quickly. So it was a normal day. I was working. I work at Romeo's. I was serving. I was just up online there, and I get a message from Isaac, who I talked about, and he said, "Hey, this was, I don't know what time this was, but probably around noon." He said, "Hey, man, did you hear what happened to Steven?" In my mind, I'm thinking, Steven drives trucks. He was driving big trucks. I'm like, "Oh, did he get in an accident, a car accident?"
Yeah.
I said, "No, man, what's up? Is he okay?" He said, "No, sadly, no, man. He took his life last night." And that was something else. I've never felt that before,
Yeah.
ever. Like, my grandpa died, and that hurt. When I found this out, and that hurt, that killed me. So, yeah, I'm just like, we're not allowed our phones at work, right? So I have my phone out. They're like, "Oh, no phones," and I'm just like, my best friend just took his life, and they're like, "Oh," and I'm like, I don't know. I'm in shock, I don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to ground myself.
Yeah.
And like, I just go sit down, and I just remember sitting there, and I'm just like, no, like, I'm crying, brother. Like, I'm crying. I'm typing this to Isaac. He's like, "Me too, man." He's like, "You're welcome to come over. We're all the boys are here. All the boys are coming." I'm like, "Absolutely." My coworker, Megan, shout out to Megan. Thank you. She said, "Hey, if you need to go, you can go." I'm like, "I got to go." Because I was bawling my eyes out.
Yeah.
I sign out all that. I go to my car. And then I call my sister, Sophia. Not the one we FaceTime there. My other sister, Soph. I call her and I just say, "Hey." She's like, "Hey." I'm like, "Did you hear?" She's like, "Yeah." And I said, "I'm hurting." And I just start crying. And she says, "I'm so sorry." I'm saying, I'm like, "I'm going to go see the boys right now. You're welcome to come. I love you." Holy man, like, I've never felt that. I start driving, I was driving, there's tears coming down my face, and I'm like, I shouldn't be driving.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going either. I forget that Isaac moved out of his parents, so I'm driving to his parents' house, super close by to Romeo's.
Yeah.
And I just remember just saying, "Man, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry, man. I love you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." I just remember that. I just kept saying that. And then I pull up to his parents' house. I see his dad out there. There's tears coming down my face, and he knows what's good. And I come out, and I'm like, "Holy." He's like, "Hey." Because I thought Isaac still lived there, but he didn't live there.
Brain wasn't working.
Yeah, absolutely not. So, but I see his dad, and I'm like, "I can't believe it." And he's asking me about, "How long do you know him?" and stuff. I remember, like, in that moment, that's the first time I ever needed a hug.
Yeah.
Like, that's the first time I needed someone to hug me, because I needed to get grounded, because I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I almost asked him for a hug, but I knew that I'd see my boys. Anyways, I go and I meet the boys there, and we're all embracing each other. But bittersweet moment, because these are all buddies that I hadn't seen in years as well. But we're all there, and we're all sharing stories
Nice
of
that
them.
you have such a big group.
Absolutely. It was really great to
help
see them.
you.
Yeah. So we talked about everything, and we got to see each other. And ever since then, we've kept close, because
Gives you a new appreciation for your friends.
Absolutely. It put everything in perspective, and my life changed ever since then. And I lead my life differently now because of that. I try not to take things for granted, and I want everyone who's listening, if there's been someone on your mind, because Steven was on my mind, just come in my mind a couple weeks before and be like, "Oh, that's fun." Like, just funny memories, right? Yeah. I want you to take this time. If there's been someone on your mind, please to reach out to them. Or if there's someone that comes to your mind right now while we're talking about this, reach out to them, please. Yeah. Because
send a quick message.
You just never know. You just never know when it's going to be the last time, So I really lead my life like that now. I'm super honest. I'm super open, and I try to be, as open as possible. But I guess that'll lead me into the song that we wrote for him.
So were you in contact with his wife about writing the song and getting memories or anything with him? Or is it mostly your and your friends' memories with
Yeah, so it was basically me. I know the song's called In My Head. It features my good friend Chris, aka Young Negrensé. Sorry, I might burp.
Here, take some water.
No, I'm good, I think. It's produced by my buddy Tristan. Yeah, it's that one. That one. Okay. Should we take a
Sure.
quick break? We're good?
I'm good.
We're back. Sorry about that. Camera's overheated. I think Chris was playing his new track in his ears, and the camera's caught wind. Straight fire.
Great fire.
That's hilarious.
Okay, so you were telling me about the new song's
Yes,
coming
the
out
new
on
song.
the 16th
On the 16th, yeah.
November.
So, yeah, 16th of November, the song will be out everywhere. Link will be in the description for sure for all the audio listeners. You should come over and watch the YouTube video and get the visual. It's very awesome. Yeah, it's called In My Head. It was written for Steven, written about Steven. It was written from my perspective of, how I felt. Something very special about it is that it was written on the first anniversary of his passing.
Okay.
We were meant to go in the studio, me, Chris, and Tristan. We already had a plan to make a song. Obviously, given the feelings that I was feeling that day, I went there and I let him know that, I want to make a song in dedication to Steven. We were all kind of on the same wavelength that night. It was great. Tristan started doing his thing. Chris did his thing. I did my thing. We all collaborated on the lyrics. Chris came up with the hook, and I was like, yes, that's it. Give me a hug, brother. That's amazing. Absolutely. So that's how In My Head came about. We made a music video that you will see, directed by Colton Davis. He's here. Huge shout out to Colton Davis. He's been here for the boys throughout everything, giving us his time, giving us his everything, putting his heart into this song, well, the visual to this song, and really seeing the potential in this song and that we could actually make a difference. He pointed that out and he's like, hey, you guys could do something big. I said, wow, thank you for that. And we started to plan what we wanted to do with this song. So from the suggestion of Colton, we reached out to the BC Crisis Center. We emailed them. We crunched this all in 1 month. We had the song. We wanted to release it because we're artists. We want to get our art out. We're eager to get our art out.
Yeah.
But we we had this new plan and we're like, oh, this could be bigger. Let's do it. Let's do it because why
raise
not?
as much awareness
Absolutely,
as possible.
absolutely. Yeah. So we got teamed up with the BC Crisis Center. We got in contact with the director of communications. His name's Jeffrey Priest. Great guy. If you don't know what the BC Crisis Center is, I'm going to tell you about it. We chose them because of their 24-hour hotline and their mission to equip schools and communities with the necessary, The necessary resources. Absolutely. To educate and the training for communities. So they can deal with people at risk at schools, help people at risk of suicide. They're a great organization. We actually learned a lot about what's been going on here in BC in terms of mental health. And for them specifically, this is very, very important. I want everyone to listen to this. So before the pandemic, they were experiencing 250 calls a day province-wide. Come the pandemic, they're now experiencing anywhere from 375 phone calls to 450 phone calls a day province-wide.
Wow.
So that's almost doubled.
Mm-hmm.
Another important thing to know is since the pandemic, the government actually had to cut funding to them. So on average, each phone call in Vancouver costs $26.69 per phone call. The government only funds $2.50 to them, which means they rely on fundraisers like we're doing, that Jeffrey does, so the people that he finds, to fund those life-saving calls. Another thing to note is since the pandemic, because of call volume, they can only answer 50% of calls. So you got to put that in perspective right there. these are people that are calling. Some of them, this is their last resort.
Yeah.
They're like, I will make this call.
If they don't answer.
Who knows?
Yeah.
So I think that's very, very, tragic.
That's very sad.
Especially given, how I know, my friend.
Yeah.
And it's just super, something I'm super passionate about, that I've learned. I learned all this and we wanted to spread the word. So with this song, we teamed up with them and there's going to be direct donation links. You can find them on our website. And on our website, yuzzy.net, sorry, YUZZY.net. It'll have the song on there. It'll have the video on there, the music video. It'll be from YouTube. And you can find all the information you want about the Crisis Center and why they're important and why we're, doing this fundraiser with them.
Yeah.
You will also find merchandise. We have hoodies and t-shirts. We're hashing out the details for that, but you'll see it now. I'm wearing one right now, actually. For the people that are watching this visually, we wanted to make a symbol, we wanted to make a symbol that, everyone could wear. So for those that aren't watching, it's a guardian angel and he's holding out his hands and there's a heart. We wanted that to symbolize,
It's beautiful.
You can see what that symbolizes. Mm-hmm. It looks great. And this was done by, her name is Chelsea, cousin of my good friend, Brody McDonald. She goes by CJ Tattooer. We'll put her links in the description. She killed this piece. It's amazing. I'm not sure where she does her tattoos in Duncan. If you want to search that up for me and find that Inculus tattoo, I think it's almost like that. You know where that is? We're going to find that out because I wanted to make sure that I shout her out because this is really important. She did this.
So you just told her kind of the general idea and she went with that.
We met up and just talked about it. I wanted it to be something that, everyone would wear. I didn't want it to look like a man or a woman. I wanted it to be just a special entity. And she came up with a really awesome piece. Yeah. And she out of the goodness of her heart did it. Wow. She didn't charge us, when she could have and should have.
Yeah.
I was going to pay her. And I can't stress how awesome she is for doing this for us. So I want to get where she tattoos. So then you can go to her Instagram page. It'll be in the description. You can check it out. And you can email her if you are interested and look at her work.
Yeah.
Say it. Inoculum
tattoo
in Duncan. Yep. So
very cool.
Please go check out Chelsea and her work. Yes. So these are going to be sold on our website for this, and 100% of proceeds go to the BC Crisis Center.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we wanted to do this for Steven. We wanted to do this for everyone else that's struggling with these thoughts, because I know that I have, and I did when I found out that he was gone. As someone that I loved, I held him very close to my heart, and I missed him so much, so to the fact that I was like, I don't want to be here because I miss him that much. That's how powerful that feeling was. I'd be sleeping at night and I would think about him, and I'd be thinking about him in his final moments and how he would have felt. And I was just like, man, I'm so sorry. So he was super special to me. So I felt that, and I know a lot of people feel that way. So it's very important to talk about, we know that.
Other kind of, so what's the spectrum that BC Crisis Center helps people on? Because I feel like it's not talked about enough, mental health. And so I just feel like it's important to tell people what exactly the BC Crisis Center can help with. Yeah,
so they answer these calls for these people, and they also they do follow-up calls as well. Okay. They have all the information on their website, and it will be on our website, all about them and what they do. But they have their statistics and everything of like who, like, age ranges of who calls and everything. But can they give you resources, or do they just kind of try to talk you down? Or talk I believe through that? I forgot a very important part. they actually de-escalate 98% of calls before the need of 911
Wow.
emergency services. So
Yeah.
I think, they're
Special people
they're
on the
everyday
end.
people that are trained, and to do this,
Yeah.
So it's like everyone that's what Jeffrey said, they're everyday people like us, and
Yeah.
that could actually relate, but they're trained, they have the necessary, So
Tools. That's amazing.
yeah, they have the necessary tools, and yes, they do follow up phone calls as well.
Okay. Very cool.
But yeah,
Good.
like I said, that's why we want to do this funding. We're very blessed to be able to partner with them to
Yeah.
do this. It was super special. So yeah, it's special, and I'm super excited. We always wanted to do something. We always wanted to do something bigger with our music. That's always been something that we wanted to do. We took something so tragic, and we want to turn that into as positive that we can do. And we want to spread awareness.
Yeah. It's very important to
Yeah.
talk about it. And back 20 years ago, it was taboo to talk about anybody that suicided. And then now, my grandpa actually committed suicide, and when I was 2 or 3, and back then nobody talked about it.
Wow.
And that was about 20 years ago. And so it was, some people even were telling other people he had a heart attack.
Wow.
And so it was not talked about. And I feel like it's such a big step that you made a music video and a song about it, and we're doing a podcast about it. And
Absolutely.
it's just amazing that we can spread so much awareness. And especially just
Yes.
in our little small town that we grew up in, there's
Absolutely.
been so many people that were
Yeah,
affected
yeah.
by it.
I just want to say to all of them and anybody that is struggling that you can reach out to me. I will be more than happy to talk to you, just to just share and listen. Just listen. I'm here to listen, and I know I can speak for my boys, Chris and Tristan, and all of us at YuzzyNet. My boy Colton as well. This is something very, very important to us, and we understand. We can relate, and we can try our best to just help lend that hand. Lend our hearts to you.
Hands out.
If you need to talk. So yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's what we're doing, and we're super excited. So in my head we'll be out November 16th everywhere. Please listen. Please share if you can, just
I'm so excited to listen to it.
Oh yeah, I know. We've been teasing it.
Yeah.
Carly actually hasn't even heard it, and
I
we haven't
haven't.
even showed her the music video either. I wasn't sure if I should. I mean, I wanted to show you.
I would love to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want? Should I just show you after, or what? Should I- yeah.
Show it to me.
Yeah,
after, 'cause
yeah.
I don't want it to spoil. Actually, this will probably come out after, but
Yeah, it's
Anyways.
okay.
yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing everything.
Thank you.
And
Thank
it was
you.
really amazing to hear your story with Stephen, and I'm really glad that you're raising awareness.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate you giving me a platform to speak on and do something that I've never done before.
Yeah.
And I just let it all out. And
Yeah.
I think it's important. For it being mental health, Men's Mental Health Month.
Yep.
Just want to let to all my brothers out there. Open up. It's okay. You're not weak if you're opening up. You're not weak if you're crying. You're strong. You're strong. We've been kind of taught to man up, but you know what? Manning up is crying. Manning up is being emotional and sharing your heart. And it's hard.
So
It's
important.
hard.
Yeah, it's men or boys, even from a young age,
Yeah.
we're taught to not cry, and it's normal for girls to do it. But
Yeah. So it's
But,
like we're all human at the end of the day. We got to look out for each other.
yeah,
We really do. And that's something that we want to do. And starts with music for us, but it doesn't end there. We're going to keep doing what we love to do, and we're going to keep doing the change that we want to see in the world. So thank you so much. Did I miss anything? Do you think I missed anything, Chris, Colton? No? You think I touched on it?
thank
Um,
you.
You can find all the information on yuzzy.net to do with the Crisis Center, the song and the video, and what we're doing and why we're doing it. And
No, the merch.
The merch,
Did you
yeah.
say that the money was all going?
all of
I
100%.
don't know if you said that, but
No, absolutely. No, we're not taking a dollar
no,
from this
all the
at
money
all.
is going to the BC Crisis Center.
BC Crisis Center. 100% of the
the
profits. Sorry, the
profits,
profits.
yes.
So because it takes money to
Yeah.
make the merchandise. So
Yes.
And shout out
Amazing.
to Raincoast here in Victoria. They hooked me up with this hoodie today. They got it printed for me today. Like they rushed it out. And they didn't charge me much at all. You know, I thought I was gonna have to pay a huge rush fee. They didn't. You know, they were great. So hopefully we can put their links in the description as well. They do drop
Is that
ship.
where you're printing all of
That's
them?
where we're gonna print them all.
Yeah.
Hopefully here. But thank you, Carly. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. This is a
I'm so
special
excited to hear
conversation.
it.
Yeah, I'm excited
Congratulations.
for the world to hear it. Thank
Yeah.
you. We're excited, and we're just gonna keep moving, you know, and hopefully we can make a movement out of this. You know, I'm hoping to see some brothers out there with this hoodie. You know, I'm gonna approach you and hopefully get a hugging
Yes.
if you allow me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode. Please remember that all of the season 1 episodes are still on Apple Podcast and Spotify. If you want to listen to them in between the weekly episodes right now, you can go back and download those anytime. And I'll see you all next Monday.